Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror PSA presented by Scary Nerd. And as always, we are your hosts. I'm Paul.
I'm Saul.
And I'm Angie.
The following is a public service announcement.
The murderous fisherman with a hook is back once again to stalk the two surviving teens, Julie and Ray, who had left him for dead, as well as cause even more murder and mayhem, this time at a posh island resort. Don't think I'd really call it a posh island resort, though.
It wasn't that snazzy.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, I guess if you're broke college students, it was nice, but...
Well, okay, I definitely think that I know what you did last summer, and I still know what you did last summer are the epitome of the MTV horror genre of the late 90s, early 2000s.
I guess we should tell people we watched
agree.
I Still Know What You Did
Yes,
Last Summer.
I
never
still
said.
know.
Yes, we're doing September Shitty Sequels. I can't even say it right.
September Shitty Sequels.
The triple S hidden at you.
And these are going to be all, I think we decided all on 90s horrible
We're
sequels.
we're gonna try and
Something
stick
like
to the 90s. So when you're looking for
So I
shit
think-
sequels, the 90s is probably the best place to go. Maybe 2000s, but we'll see what we find.
So I think this is safe to assume that we've all seen this movie before.
Oh, yes. So,
Yeah.
I remember like MTV doing a whole like coverage for this thing and like interviewing
Yeah.
Jennifer Love Hewitt and Brandy. Like this
Yeah,
was
they
the
made a big
years
deal
that
out of
I
it.
watched MTV.
Yeah.
And so I totally had seen this movie.
Okay, I do want to point out that this movie came out in 1998. I Know What You Did Last Summer came out in 1997. That was released in October of 97. This movie was released the following year in November of 98. So I don't think it's a far stretch to say that they crapped out this sequel as quickly as they fucking could.
Yeah. I thought they saw the success of the first one and thought they could replicate that, and they ended up with this, whatever you want to
this
call
happens every decade. Every decade, people make a movie that makes so much money because horror is quick and cheap to make, and you can make huge return on investment. And then studios go, oh, we can make money on horror. It's currently happening now. It just happens every 10 years or so. They just forget all of a sudden that horror makes money, and it's super cheap to make.
Money. Yeah.
So I
Now,
think
the thing is I don't remember if I saw how much money I paid for this in the theater. Like, I don't know if I actually went to a real theater or if I saw this in a dollar theater.
Oh yeah.
Because I know we had friends who worked at a movie theater that was a dollar theater that we would get in there for free all of the time and just pretty much spend like an afternoon or an evening watching two movies for pretty much nothing. And I want to say this was one of those movies that we saw.
I will say that when I did first see this, I didn't think that the storyline was as preposterous as I do today.
yeah, I don't remember being this bad. Like I remember the parts at the end, and I'm like, all right, that was kind of stupid. Like this whole thing hinges on that. But then throughout the whole fucking movies, when we watch it to do the podcast, I'm like, yeah, this is a big pile of shit.
Oh no, it's a lot of horror themes that they've stolen from other very famous horror movies, all chopped up into one sequel that really doesn't connect in any way or make sense to the original.
And I really feel like there was an executive producer somewhere that was like, all right, we need to show off Jennifer Love Hewitt's boobs a little more this sequel.
But she won't show them
because
right
she's
out.
not going to show them. So we need to do everything we can to draw the attention to them.
Oh, did you guys check or did you guys notice her single that she had in the movie as well? She did a little touch of singing in this one.
Kim pointed that out when they started playing the song in the movie. But the thing about it though is I think teenage me got suckered into this movie with the hopes of seeing Jennifer Love Hewitt naked.
I think a lot of dudes did.
Happen. It came close a couple of times, but they did not do it.
She doesn't show her boobs in
She's
anything, right?
Just in,
No.
I don't know. I don't know if she ever did. I doubt it. I mean, who knows?
She hasn't. She's one of those few actresses that has yet to show her boobs. All of the other ones have done it except her.
I do love how through this movie, though, Julie just straight out has PTSD, and everybody's like, Julie, what the fuck's wrong with you?
I know, like even at the beginning, your professor's like, oh, stupid bitch.
Oh, the PTS bitch back in the room. Like, oh, Jesus,
some
man.
Of that is some of that is her fault because she didn't really tell everybody the whole story
And see,
of why she has the PTSD. As far as everybody knows, they were in a hit and run or something like that, but I don't think they knew about the whole of the dude coming back and killing her friends.
well, see, I don't even know what exactly she didn't tell them because
Yeah.
they know that this guy, like, she had a traumatic event happen with this dude. Like, I think Carla
Yeah.
brings it up in the beginning. So I'm like, did she just tell them about the end part, like where he came back and tried to kill them, and then like they had to like fight back? Is
I
that
don't
the
even-
part she
I
knew?
don't think she.
I don't even think they went that far either.
Yeah, because at the part later when they're on the dock and they realize all the boats are gone, and she was like, he came back, he wasn't dead, they never found the body, blah blah blah. And so I'm like, so wait, you told him that you accidentally killed the guy. So I think all that she told him is like, we accidentally killed the guy.
But she didn't go,
Yeah.
but we didn't. And he came back and tried to kill us.
Apparently not.
So we had to
So
kill him.
hey, it's. I think up until that point, if that's all that she told him, then it's
Okay,
justified to be like,
see-
you stupid bitch,
Yeah.
just shut up. You hit a bum, we'll get over it.
This is one of my big problems with this whole movie. Like, this whole movie is just hinged on everybody making the wrong choices, everybody
Yeah.
doing the dumbest possible things that they can. And the storyline makes no sense. Like, she feels
No.
bad about killing a dude who she didn't really kill until he came back to kill her, but she feels bad that she killed him a second time. Like, I'm like, what is going on? This movie makes no sense.
There's a lot of
yes.
stuff in this movie too that it's like, that's like the thinnest, like
Yeah,
that this plan would work.
It's
like
the whole
when,
thing hinges on a string.
Like when you go back and you're like, okay, wait. So the whole thing was this guy recruited his son to get revenge on this bitch, and your plan was to send him to college and just hang out with her and somehow infiltrate into the friend zone, and then. Yeah, there's a lot of shit. Like, so he had to go out and like,
All
you know,
to kill
actually,
her.
Yeah, so I'm like, did
all with the end game of killing her, but
Did
never
your dad-
actually killing her at very opportune moments.
Wait,
They
so
had
when
plenty
did
of
dad
times to
did
do
dad
it.
have to go out and like, you know, like Deadliest Catch style and like spend a season out there to pay for fucking college tuition and
There's,
shit just to
like,
get Will in there?
Legit four scenes in this movie where I'm like, you just knifed the bitch, she's dead right there. Like, in the movie over. Like,
No, you gotta.
why are you toying with
Okay,
her?
because you don't go to this elaborate scheme of sending your son, you know, to college for the summer and all that other shit just to kill her the first opportunity you get.
Oh no, you have to totally do the Halloween Michael Myers setup with the gravestone to show that she's going to, or the Friday
Yeah.
the 13th or whatever when they ripped that off.
Yeah.
Because that was one of those scenes. They also did the Nancy waking up in class scene when she first
Yeah.
comes awake. Like, I swear somebody just watched a bunch of horror and was like, okay, I'm going to take this,
This
that,
works.
and then make all of these people make the dumbest decisions.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty much. And we got to accentuate JLH's boob more.
And her
Yes.
PTSD.
Yeah.
And Ray just has to act like a fucking pussy the whole time. That dude was a little bitch the whole movie.
Well, he
But he
was,
was.
okay. To me, I don't think Ray was so much as a bitch. It was just look at his face. Look how confused he is at all times.
It just hurt.
Like
That's
he's
how
like,
Freddie
what?
Prinze looks.
Yeah.
though.
Like every scene, like everything he does, it's kind of like, what do you want? He's like, just throws the ring out of the pawn shop, and he's like, what are you confused about? This is a pawn shop. You know what you're doing? Like,
I was confused why he was confused about why Julie didn't want to go back to Southport. I'm like, remember that time that guy tried to murder y'all? That's why. Like, why are you
Yeah.
confused here?
you mean like last year?
Not like 6 months ago
Like,
when the.
did
No,
you
no.
forget?
Because wait, did she say it was the?
Oh yeah, it was a year ago because it was 4th of July, is what
So
she
no, wait.
said.
So it was 2 years ago that they had killed him the first
Yeah, actually-
time.
Yes.
And a
Where they
year
ran
ago
it.
since they killed him the second
Yeah.
time, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
but she's never actually killed anyone.
Yeah.
No.
I forget how I'm using quotey fingers here. How he died in the first one. I don't remember. We should have watched that. I
No, it
guess.
was with the net. Like, they pulled his hand off
Oh, that's
with
right.
the net and on Ray's boat or something like that in the
Something like
first
that.
one.
So
But
shouldn't
they
he be
never found the
missing-
body. They just
So
found the
whose fucking
hand.
arm was that?
I don't know.
Or is he just full on hook hand now?
But
He
Ray,
might have hook-handed himself.
Like-
That's what I'm thinking.
yeah. So we start off with the movie, and Ray comes to Julie's
Wait a
college
minute.
town.
Wait a minute. I do want to point out the dream sequence.
The
real
dream-
quick.
the Nancy
'Cause
dream,
This
yeah.
whole thing started out like it was going to be a Catholic demonic possession movie to
did.
begin with.
It
Yeah.
did.
Because I'm like, why is she in these heels, like going all sexy to church and shit? To be like, hey, Father,
Oh, yes.
I committed a sin. I sucked so many dudes.
And they were those giant ass thick heels from the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
They were
Yeah.
the clodhoppers. You heard
They
those
were
things walking around in
cranking
the
on
church.
tile, yeah. So
Ugh.
yeah, but then when she wakes up, there's a dude that looks like a '90s version of Kevin James that is sitting next to her, and I was like, "That guy's hilarious." I want to know what happened to that guy because it wasn't actually Kevin James. But I'm like, if you took Kevin James today and dressed him up like he was in the '90s, this is what that dude looked like.
Yeah, the one with the hat.
No, he just had
No?
like he had that.
Oh, no, I'm thinking
douchey.
of Kevin James.
No, he had like that douchey kind of spiked up hair. Like it was short on the sides, little
yeah,
little
yeah,
longer
yeah,
on
yeah.
top of the spike.
Gotcha,
I think he had an
okay.
earring too, and he was total
yeah.
'90s guy, but he looked like Kevin James.
Yeah. But yeah, so Julie wakes up, freaks out, has her Nancy freak out in class.
And she leaves.
And she leaves. And then we meet Will, the concerned friend, the concerned ducky friend character.
Yeah.
Friend zone.
We would call him. Yeah, the friend zoned
His
Will.
name is Willis Benson.
Is it Willis
Yes.
or just
Yes,
Will?
because in the trivia,
trivia,
it
I read
says
that.
his full name is Willis Benson.
Ew.
Will
And
is
if you-
Benson.
No.
That's,
Yeah.
Okay, this is literally one of the characters' names, so you know how good
Yes.
this movie is and all the decisions that are made by everyone.
Telling you guys, MTV genre of horror is what this movie is. We can't get any more
Okay.
clearer from that, right?
This is what we used to have before Bloomhouse was a thing.
Yes. This is what
Yes.
Bloomhouse basically turned into.
Yeah, MTV would do it. So, did you guys take issue with the gate at the apartment complex?
It was always just unlocked. I'm like, what's the point
No,
of this?
here not necessarily that it was always unlocked, but the way it was set up, because you had the lock to get into the gate, and all you had to do was just pretty much go around and unlock it from the outside.
Yeah. Those are pretty big.
was like-
Yeah, you could have.
It was the world's worst security gate. Because really, you didn't need a key to get into the apartment complex. Like all you had to do is just
the world's
Yeah, it was-
worst is everything in this movie. Everything is
Yeah.
the world's worst movie.
Yeah,
And then
I'm
the other
supposed to.
thing
Yeah,
too-
and I'm supposed to believe that they're from some poor fishing town, wherever the fuck they're from. But then she goes to college. She's got like this huge apartment that she shares with
Mm-hmm.
one other chick. Like she's
Which-
drinking Evian and fucking potato chips, like stocked full of shit
Mm-hmm.
in her cabinet.
I know she's not
Well,
even getting good grades either. She's
She's like, I'm gonna fail.
failing.
Like, and this is summer school too, so I'm like, Jesus.
Here's the
man.
funny thing that Kim pointed out when she got to her apartment. How the fuck do you forget you have a roommate and they could possibly be inside the house too?
Yeah, no, there's no rhyme or reason. But she gets to her apartment
Well,
and
see,
she
no,
finds Ray.
because that's what the thing about that. This is so like they just tried to fuck with you because they in that whole scene it was
Yeah.
like we didn't mention she has a roommate, but it's not really implied until
Yeah.
that whole reveal or whatever, and then it was like, okay, well that was stupid then because if you look at it
Yeah.
logically, yes, that is stupid because she knows she has a fucking roommate. Like,
I know, just call out.
yeah, and it was trying to get trying to get a
Carla?
cheap scare out of something that's like not even fucking practical.
Right?
I know the first thing you would think if you're living with somebody like Carla, is that you?
Yeah,
What are you doing? Are you home early? But no.
Or your
Her
roommate would
ass-
just be like, "Hey, it's me."
yeah.
Yeah. Her
Regardless of
parent out. Oh.
yeah,
Her-
because even the roommate, if she heard something, would be like, "Is that you, Julie?"
Yeah.
Julie, I
Everybody
thought you
would know,
left.
right? I thought you were out of town. Are you still here? But I want to go back to the part where Ray's there because Ray is such a little bitch when Julie doesn't want to go back to Southport. Such a bitch. Such a little bitch. And he's like trying to make it all about him. He's like, "You don't want to come back to Southport?" And she's like, "Why don't you stay here with me?" And he's like, "I have to work." And I'm like, "Listen, bitch, why do you want Julie there if you're going to be fucking working? You little
Yeah.
bitch."
Because I thought what he wanted to do was like, I have to work, but I'm off like tonight. Like if we go tonight, there's the clam bake or whatever the fuck he was talking about, and then they do the pageant thing, and then like the next day, like he would bring her
Yes.
back or whatever.
Come parade around the town where you saw your friends get murdered. Yes, let's do that. And that's where I want to be proposed to. Fucking Ray. What a douche. See, everybody in this movie made the wrong choices. It's everybody
Hey.
is making the worst choices of
It's
their
the
life
small
in
town,
this movie.
small town fishbowl effect.
And word to the wise, if you have a traumatic experience, your girlfriend doesn't want to be proposed to there. Just looking
No.
out for you dudes in the world.
Well, let's not forget that Ray's whole plan was like, nope, I'm going to tell her no, that I'm not going to the Bahamas and piss her off, and then I'm going to come propose to her.
See,
so
Ray's like a 13-year-old.
See,
Your
he's-
first 13-year-old boyfriend who just completely acted like a child. That was Ray.
Wow.
That was Ray in this movie.
he's gonna propose and then be like, if it's yes, I'm gonna be playing basketball in the park with my friends. Come watch me.
Yep, that's totally Ray.
And then the whole scene with him and his coworker, I forget the guy's name, where they're just singing along in the truck. I'm like, oh my God. Like, really?
Oh, I know. Their friends are the worst, too. Because Carla gets there and is like, hey, girl, I know you just almost stabbed me with a knife and you might have PTSD, but come to the club. Let's
Yeah.
go. You got to get out
Well,
of
there's
this
lots of loud
apartment.
noises.
Yeah, but
People-
but that was a setup to get Willis Benson there.
Yeah, but okay, I take umbrage with Carla and her like obsession with getting Julie laid. Like, worry about your own vagina, man. Like,
Yeah.
your boyfriend is all about doing you. Why don't you do
He
him?
wants to. He wants to.
Like, Ty's just following Carla around just to get some vajayjay, and she's not giving it at all. Like, she keeps teasing
I
him with it.
love how towards the end of the movie he does his little spiel about how he's, what is it, tired, hungry, and horny, and then gets murdered.
Yep. He didn't even get to have sex.
No.
Poor Ty.
Tyrell.
Tyrell. Oh, and another thing, nobody dies in this movie until like way at the end. It's all tension building bullshit.
Who is it the doc
It's
guy?
the doc guy.
The doc guy's the first.
Was
guy
it
to die.
Derek? I think they
Derek,
called him.
yeah.
We'll talk to Derek in the morning. Jeffrey Combs says.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Combs is in this movie, guys.
Yeah.
And it's so forgettable. That's how bad this movie is.
Well, I love how the dockhand guy pulled the scam that we all would think that somebody would try to do is he does the fake Jamaican accent, and then as soon as they leave, he goes back to his normal accent. He's like, I'm trying to scheme, man. He's like, I gotta get it before they all leave.
No, I like. Oh wait, no. Because I have another thing about the club that I forgot to say. So going back to the club, Julie is, there not wanting to dance because she has PTSD and didn't want to be out in the first place when Carla dragged her out. But Julie really understands that white people have a lack of rhythm, and I would just like to say, as a white person, I respect that. If you don't got it, you don't got it, and that's okay. Just sit it out.
You
Eat your
just need to
olives.
drink a little bit more.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, there you go.
Eat your olives. Take a couple shots. Then the
Or-
rhythm will find you.
No, because no, it's the rhythm will find you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or you just keep drinking until the rhythm finds you. I guess
Yes.
you want to call
Yeah,
it
there
that.
you go.
Because there are plenty of white people out there that'll wait for the rhythm to find them.
No, I also
And when
wrote,
it finds them, they don't let it go.
no, white people take that rhythm and we make it our bitch when it finds us.
Got to use this while I can.
But I have to say, and I wrote this down, even though Julie makes a little comment about white people, Will is the most vanilla dude in the history of vanilla dudes.
I literally wrote down in the club section where the notes I wrote, oh look, Vanilla Benson.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And it's like the imitation vanilla. It's not even the good kind with the actual alcohol in it.
Imitation vanilla. No, the imitation just has more alcohol and less vanilla in it, I think.
Yeah.
It's hairspray and vanilla.
But I love how like Julie's PTSD.
okay.
She
Wait,
starts.
so is she? Okay, this is my question then. So, is this PTSD or was the fisherman guy actually at the club?
See, you don't have
think it
to
was
explain
PTSD.
it. You don't have to explain it, and that's how lazy the writing is.
No, because I want to know. Because I would be like, because if there was like a fisherman dude in the club, like nobody would not notice or not say anything.
Exactly.
You know how many drunk dudes would be like, fisherman,
Fisherman!
yeah. Like, you know how many dudes like
Yeah.
Titus Telesco at the club would have been like, whoa,
Titus.
man.
Yes. Yes.
Because I'd be like,
Oh, and then the-
and all she had to say was like, did anyone else notice the fucking fisherman up there? Like, yeah, he went that way.
I love how she starts chasing him. I was like, you don't.
You're like, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do when you find him? Like, look, I found
Yeah.
him. What?
Told you I wasn't crazy. That was her whole motivation, this whole fucking movie, just to say. Because when finally she's like, I told you I wasn't fucking crazy.
There was one part of this movie where I was like, this could just turn into Julie being fucking crazy and that she just murdered everybody. Like, it would have made a better ending. To be honest.
I want to make a sequel to this one where that's what happened, and now Julie gets out and she starts doing it again, and then you actually make it like, is this guy dead or not?
Yeah, no. I love how she like starts freaking out and then like, nope, take her PTSD ass home. Like, get her away from all these loud noises. She needed to be out in this club.
Well, it wasn't necessarily even loud noises because I know you guys have been to clubs, you guys have been to bars, but have you ever been to a bar where there's that much music playing and you can still have a conversation with each other without having to yell?
No.
Because that's the one thing I noticed. Like, you're at a club, there's supposed to be loud music, and you're having a normal conversation like we are.
I know.
Like, I've never
Even
been
at the
I've never
bar.
Been, yeah, even at the bar.
I know it's like
So,
this. It's like, well, they had to go upstairs to go to the dance part, but I'm still like, there's no one that's like, there's no bar ever that you're like, even if it has 2 floors, where it's like, it's quiet on one floor and really loud on the other. Like, there's no, like, everywhere is loud. Like, there's nowhere you're gonna find a quiet place where they can all just talk and hang out at the bar together without a million fucking people like standing behind you or in between you trying to get a drink.
Yeah.
You're all pressed up against each other, all sweaty and nasty.
Ridiculous.
Nobody's having a good time. Oh, but I also want to say that Julie did have a point. Carla was drying those shoes in that shitty ass dryer. She was going to break that dryer. We've all had that shitty college dorm room above unit that she had, the double dryer above the washer thing. Like, yeah, you don't dry your shoes in there. That's going to fuck it up.
What the hell did she even do to get her shoes wet?
I don't know. But I love that the whole scheme of this movie is that they win tickets to the Bahamas on a radio show. I love that the whole scheme hinges on this, right?
Yeah.
Like, it just, I don't know.
And why not pick something like
Easy?
easier? Or like, why do you even have to have the stupid question, right? And what the fuck does Rio de Janeiro and Brazil have to do with winning a trip to the fucking Bahamas? Like, I wanted to be like,
Exactly.
why couldn't you just call me like, this is blah, 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 whatever radio station he said, right? And be like, you are our winner. And like,
Right?
that's all you had to say. Or it was like, what's 1 + 1?
Right? What's their majors? Maybe go.
Yeah, like, what's your major,
Something their
Carla?
major
Tell us
route.
what you're doing. Like, you totally could have made something that was a little bit more realistically than just, it's Rio because that's what it says in the coffee bag or whatever.
But so the whole plot is that they had to get this question right. And even though they don't get this question right, they still weren't smart enough to be like telling people that
or like, why didn't you look it up right afterwards?
right? And I know this was kind of like obviously was the age before Google, but still I'm just like, no, like we would have been telling people and there would have been somebody that'd be like, no, idiot.
Yeah, you
like,
would have called your mom. You would have called somebody, like somebody would be like, that's not the capital
That's
of
not the
Rio.
capital of Rio. Like,
what?
Rio
Rio's not-
de Janeiro is
no.
not the capital of Brazil. Like,
And
but
I'll
they
be
had to
honest-
have known that
I'll
they
be
weren't
honest.
gonna figure it out.
I'll be
before they
honest,
got
I
to the
didn't
island.
know. I didn't know. I was like, because the first time I saw this movie, I was like, I don't think it is. I'm like, but then literally watching the movie, and I was like, well, no one's corrected them, so it must be the fucking capital. I never looked it up.
Well, I was 12 when this movie came out, so it's okay that I didn't know Rio wasn't the capital. Of
and even
Brazil.
after this movie, I still didn't know what it was.
Well, I figured it out because of this movie. It was one of those
I know
things.
what it's not because of this movie, but I still
not
forget.
Rio.
Even though it's Brasilia, which I'm like, that's the dumbest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
The capital of Brazil is Brasilia. How does anyone not remember this shit?
No.
I'm stupid.
And I find it hilarious because I'm the type of person who thinks about Ben and Will, quote unquote, trying to figure out a ruse and be like, oh, it's so easy. It's Brazil and Brasilia. Like they're
Yeah.
stupid. They can't
No,
get it
boy.
wrong.
No, boy, you're making the question too hard. All you have to say is, what's the capital of Brazil? I don't know, Dad. What's the capital of Brazil? It's Brasilia. God damn it. Everybody knows that.
I also wrote a note here that says Jennifer Love Hewitt's song over Ray Working just drips late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need a towel to get it off. I don't
Well,
want this late 90s all over me. Clean it up off the floor.
He was confused. Okay, leave him alone.
And again, she's like, hey, Ray, let's go to the Bahamas. And Ray's like, I don't wanna.
He was confused.
Being a little
No, yeah,
bitch.
he was like, I don't want to go. I want to marry you.
Oh, so you could go to the Bahamas, but not the place you had a traumatic event? What a bitch, Julie. What a bitch. Like, Jesus, Ray. Making it
Their
all
whole
about you.
skin
Ray, go
was
fish.
contingent on a lot of things. So if Ray would have said, okay, yeah, I want to
I
go,
know,
then
like-
what the fuck?
What the fuck? Like, there's so many things in this movie that it's like, okay, if Ray was like, fuck yeah, free trip to the Bahamas, and it's like, what? How does Will get there? How do you explain Will at all?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't. You can't.
Well, I guess he was planning on murdering him either way, but then if like that was your plan, then like it wouldn't have mattered that she was like you couldn't have ensured they had that fight that they did.
Right?
Yeah.
I know nobody knows that Ray is gonna propose, and that's why he's being such a dick to Julie. Because apparently you gotta be a massive dick to her
Well,
to get her right where you want.
Apparently Ben was watching. He's like, all right, he bought a ring, so he's gonna propose. So he'll probably be mean to her first.
But Ray's friend convinces him, like, look, dumbass, it's the Bahamas. Get in the fucking car.
what-
Quit being a bitch.
And what if he was like, you know what? Great, Bahamas is the perfect place for me to propose to her.
Yeah.
Great,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Julie, like, fuck this. We don't gotta do shit around here.
Right? Like, so many things hinge on that. But Ray goes along and they're driving, and Ray sees a car accident. It's not even really an accident. It's just a stalled car in the middle of the road.
There's a mannequin on the road.
No, I
You don't know
love
it's a mannequin.
I love that it activates his PTSD, and he's like, "No, we have to go look."
Yeah, and-
but
and
he
it-
goes up to this body, and he turns the head around, like the full fucking head.
Yeah.
This guy could be injured. Oh shit! It was a real guy.
And I know, like, it's the only way that they thought of as, like, making the movie to get it to reveal that it's a mannequin. But I'm like, you wouldn't turn anybody's fucking face around.
Again, look how stupid and confused Ray looks the whole time.
I'm helping.
He would have like, okay, just put your head back on together. Did I go that way?
There's a lot of dumb things that, again, they're contingent on a lot of stuff because, again, dude, original killer is hoping that they're on the highway at this time.
On
this time of
apparently,
night.
yeah, apparently the one road that he can take,
One road.
and that he'll know that he'll be all alone at 11 o'clock
Yes.
at night or whatever the fuck time it is.
Oh my goodness.
And he has to sit there and be like, oh shit, I got to make it look like this, and be like, oh shit, that's not him. Wait a minute, is that him? Oh shit, that's not him.
So after the reveal comes, where Freddie Prinze Jr. turns the mannequin's head around,
No,
and
it's Dum Dum Ray.
Dum Dum Ray,
Yeah.
and he sees Dave get gutted. The fisherman guy, or I don't know what his
Let's
name
call him
is.
Ben, I guess.
Ben starts chasing Ray with his own truck. And Ray looks so stupid. And I wrote down, did Freddie Prinze Jr. forget what to do with his hands while running? Because, like, they're just out to the side and they're wide, like, they're jazz hands. And he's, like, running for his
Jazz
life.
handsing away.
Yes, and I can't. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you so confused about what to do with your hands at this point, Freddie
Okay.
Prinze Jr.?
And here's my thing. I'm gonna put this into a fucking movie, right? Where someone's chasing someone with a car. And it's the same setup, right?
Yeah.
Why not just
Yeah.
run to the other side of the car?
Right?
Like once you pass the car, make a sharp left that the truck can't go. And then like, haha, I'm safe.
They know. What do you...
Yeah.
Or
If I
just
just-
get
if
in
I
the
just-
other car. Like,
Yeah, there might have been keys in there. Like who knows? Like
so many possibilities.
but no, he's like, I'm gonna jump off this cliff.
What do I do with my hands while I run? I don't know.
He was looking for something to grab. I need a weapon.
There's just too many dumb things in this movie that are like, are you serious? And then again, when they get to the hospital where Freddie Prinze Jr. is laid out, or Ray's laid out,
Yeah.
and they do the whole thing where like, oh, he claiming he saw this person and that he killed his friend, but we haven't seen anything, or we haven't seen anywhere. I'm like, if you're claiming his friend is dead, shouldn't you like have the police investigate that stuff and not just go off of what you think happened?
I know. There's no sign of his friend, so
I know.
fuck it.
The cops basically like, he hit his head. He's stupid. I'm going home.
I'm not
Fuck
even
this.
going to check on the friend. I mean, we'll figure it out Monday, right? It's 4th of July weekend.
And the thing that cracked me up is when you get to like the little nurse's station, they're like, oh, what is it? Number 6 just flatlined. I'm like, oh, please don't do the, he jumped out of the open window. Please don't. Oh, nope, he
Yep,
jumped
he
out of the
did.
fucking open
I know,
window.
because
Goes
what
AWOL.
fucking hospital have you ever been to that was like, there's an open window here?
I
I can
know.
just open this window and leave right now.
Just leave. Just
Only in movies are there windows with hospitals you can just magically open and walk out.
Yeah.
He got all of his shit though. He still had the ring.
And
on
then
him.
randomly had a prescription bottle later.
He
Did he have
did.
time to get a
Yeah.
prescription from the doc and go fill that? Well, he's on the lam.
Well, see, no, what I figured he did is he just ran down to the hospital pharmacy real quick.
Well,
real
yeah.
quick. Just grabbed that and then, filled that script right out the door.
He
See?
robbed the pharmacy before he left.
Yep. He remembered what to do with his hands that time.
Yeah.
And then there was inconsistencies with his injury because it looked like he may have broken his arm because he had it in a sling, and then all of a sudden at later point in the movie, he doesn't have the sling on anymore. He still has all the cuts and all that stuff on him, but it's like, did you break your arm? Did you not break your arm? What's the deal here? Come on.
Yeah, there was no rhyme or reason for any of his injuries. But they finally get to this island, and we immediately get Jack Black with dreads.
Oh my
Wait,
Dreads.
gosh.
Wait,
Dreads.
you skipped over Red West, and I will not let
I
us
did skip over
Red
Red West. Oh my goodness. Yes, go back.
Roadhouse. That's all I gotta say.
Oh my goodness.
But Jack Black with dreads, and he's a stoner. He's got weed. Isn't that what he
Yes,
says?
he does.
He's got backguano. He's got what is he
He's got
says?
all the weeds you need.
What's up, sister?
I love the off-season maid because she gives no fucks. Julie's like,
Olga.
excuse me. She's just like, fuck you, and walks away.
Olga is me at work. I think because I'm like, yeah.
Oh, I don't hear you.
If I was a maid, I'd be like, yeah. Me no speak. Okay,
Yeah,
bye.
sorry.
Bye bye.
I had completely forgot that Jack Black was in this movie until we rewatched it, and I remember you guys mentioning that he was in it. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't. He's.
It's okay. It's not even just the maid, right? I think it's the all five of the
off-season
off-season staff.
staff,
Like
yeah.
all five of them give zero fucks.
Oh, yeah.
Because
for
even
sure.
Jeffrey Combs comes out and is like, "What do you want? I don't care. Oh, the contest winner. Let me roll out the red
I know.
carpet."
I wrote Jeffrey Combs' ominous ass isn't boding well for any of the contest winners.
Oh, Suite
Wait,
202
wait,
and
wait.
201, the honeymoon murder suite.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my question of the thing. If it was all on, what was it, Ben
Yeah.
or Will? Okay, the son's name, I forgot. He's
The
that
son
one's
is
Ben, right?
Will.
The son is Will. Okay.
Yes.
So if he was scamming the girls and the friends on the contest thing, how the fuck did he get the hotel in on that?
Well, that was part of,
You
that
just
whole.
book a reservation, Saul. I mean,
But still,
you just book a reservation and say, "Hi, we're so and so." Especially in the fucking 90s, you could
Okay.
watch every 80s movie. Like we talked about this in the stuff. If you had a card that said anything, people believed you in the fucking
Yeah,
80s and
that's
before.
true.
So
Yeah.
in the 90s, if you're willing to pay for something and say it's a business thing, no one questioned you at all.
And even if
Okay.
you were a legitimate business, sometimes nobody questioned you.
Which
You
is
could just
why
do
okay,
everything.
Which is why he picked off season for a few reasons. Less people to kill to get rid of because everyone else will be gone, and it was a lot cheaper, I'm sure. So
And you already know there's a graveyard, like done and done,
Yeah.
right? You can cover your tracks.
it's a business expense. I mean,
Business
he formed an LLC and he's getting all these tax write-offs.
Located in the Cayman Islands. Nobody's looking at anything.
the Fisherman LLC.
Well, the thing now that you watch it, and the one thing that you pick up on it, what was funny is what was the that one guy's name?
Estes.
Estes. Well, again, he does the little foreshadowing thing because he recognizes Will,
Yeah.
and he says, "Oh, you've been a gleam since you were a gleam in your daddy's eye," and he should have been like, "Why are you guys hanging around with this dude who supposedly was going around killing other people?" He should have tipped him off right then and there. Be like, "You motherfuckers are not safe. Leave."
He should mole. Mole, mole, mole. That's what
This
I want him
man
to do.
is not true.
I love Estes. He's just out here trying to do his voodoo and protect everybody. I will say though, when they go and they do find all the voodoo, I'm like, Julie, you gotta suck it up. You've seen dead bodies. Voodoo ain't that
Yeah.
scary. Like,
I know.
you gotta get it together because she's really like,
I know, 'cause,
oh
like,
guys,
No
like-
way, but it wouldn't at that point. She would have been more relieved if it was actually like him and voodoo something rather than
Yeah.
the fisherman and all
Right?
that.
The-
She'd have
the
been
one
like, "Oh
that
my
you
god,
thought
okay,
you've killed
fine.
twice
I was wrong.
now."
He is dead. Maybe we saw his arm." No,
No,
Still
she
scared.
gets. She
Still-
gets
and I have to
could've
say
scared.
that voodoo closet was missing Joe Boo from
Yes.
Major League.
Yes, it was. But still, though, my thing is if he knew who he was, why didn't you just fucking tell him instead of trying to do voodoo?
See, I don't
Like,
think
voodoo ain't gonna save your ass.
I didn't take it as he knew who he was. I don't think that I think he knew there was something about him, but I don't think he knew specifically that was, the guy's son or whatever.
No, he did.
I don't think he
He did.
He did.
I think
he
he
did.
figured it out later. I don't think he knew at that point in the beginning is what I'm saying.
No, I think
Well,
when
I think he did.
when he said that a gleam in your dad's eye. I think he knew from then on.
He was like,
But that's
I know
something
who you
old
are.
people say to kids all the fucking time, though.
I know, but I think
No,
for
but
the
they-
lazy ass writing in this movie, that was the foreshadowing that told you he knew
I
who he
guess,
was.
man.
Yeah.
Also,
Let it go, Paul. He knew.
There was some foreshadowing when they first get there, because if you watch, and it's really kind of weird and subtle, and I don't know if they did this on purpose or not, but when they first get there, it shows like it's overhead shot where they're walking through all the people, and there's like a fountain that they have to go around. The
Yeah.
three of them go to the right, and then Will goes to the left and ends up walking around the fountain and then rejoining them on the other side of the fountain. And I'm like, I don't know if that was just randomly weird that it happened, or if that was kind of a foreshadowing thing that they thought was like a
could've
weird
been.
Easter egg that they were like, look at this.
But still, if that fucker knew, he should have warned those kids and been like, hey, he's going to kill your asses. You better leave.
Well, much like the fisherman could have killed Julie several times, we couldn't stop the
Oh, my
movie 20
goodness.
minutes in. We still have to wait at least another half hour before there was an actual murder to occur.
Not only does Jennifer Love Hewitt get a song in the soundtrack, but she gets a chance to sing fucking karaoke as well. We needed
Even,
that for
was,
some reason.
Was the bartender's name Nancy? Is that her name?
Yes, it was
Even
Nancy.
she had that line, was like, everyone's a goddamn singer.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I love how, like, her lines don't make sense either, because they're like, why are you here? And she's like, that's none of your goddamn business. I'm like, why is she so mad? They're just giving me no reason.
Again, it's the off-season staff. They give no fucks, man.
Okay, so
Oh, wait, you're like-
karaoke.
you
what
want-
you singing, Paul? You're on vacation. Karaoke. You're in the Bahamas.
I gotta see what's in the book, man.
No, what's your
Yeah.
song? What's your song? What you singing? Do you need a minute?
I
That's
don't
all you
know.
need a minute,
I
because I
don't
can
know,
tell you guys
man.
mine.
What's your gonna?
I'm with
we're gonna
Paul.
sing
I got to see
Hanson?
what's in the book.
No, see, I got two games. When I sing karaoke, my goal isn't to sing well. My goal is to make everyone in the whole room uncomfortable. So
Okay, so what's your song?
I'm either going Cardi B WAP, because I think I could really bring the awkwardness to that. I think I could really do it. Or Tiptoe Through the Tulips by Tiny Tim, because I think that one I could get up real high. Tiptoe through the
You're gonna have to
tulips.
maintain that throughout the whole song.
I think I
though.
could do it. I think
All
I
right.
could.
If that's your reasoning behind your karaoke song, I'm going to have to go with Two Live Crew, Me So Horny.
Oh, there you go. It's a good one.
That is a good one.
Or, I don't know if you've heard of them, Akinelli, Put It In Your Mouth.
I have not heard that, but I gotta look that up after this.
You're gonna have to look it up, and yeah, you're gonna be surprised.
I'm not gonna go with any of those. I'm gonna do a Laszlo and Nadja original. I'm gonna do the hoop skirt as a poop skirt. That's
From
what I'm
what we do
singing.
in the hoop skirt was a poop skirt.
That's
yes.
what I'm singing. So.
Yes. Nadja. She's amazing.
No, you never mind. If I'm making everyone uncomfortable, that's my goal. R. Kelly 12 play.
Oh, too far, Paul. Too
Hey,
far.
you want to make everyone uncomfortable? There you go.
Or Easy E Automobile. See, there's a lot of them. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna just keep going down the list, and if those are on it, I'd have to pick them. Be like,
There's-
okay, if I got any of those three, I'm gonna have to read the room and be like, okay, how many we got? We got old white people here. They probably never heard of rap. I gotta find the worst one, and I'm probably gonna do Automobile. I just gotta read the room.
There you go. But then Julie has another little PTSD freak out, and 90% of this movie is just Julie freaking out. It's just 90.
Yeah.
It's just mostly her PTSD is triggered, and she's crying, and people are like, "Julie, stop being crazy."
Like, what the fuck is wrong with
See,
you?
that's what I want to know. Like, was there mixed in PTSD with the actual stuff that the killer was doing? Because it would explain the stupid, the fisherman at the club. It would explain the karaoke lyrics and all that shit. So it's like either he's in there, he's in a closet somewhere with the keyboard to the karaoke machine, like, take that,
Yes.
bitch.
That's what I imagine happened. Yes.
Or this bitch is crazy. So
Yeah.
it's one or the other.
I really see. I would at a certain point you could just take the movie into a whole different direction. It's really until the killer comes back at the end.
If they really wanted to fuck with everybody, Sarah Michelle Gellar's character could have came back and she was the killer.
Plot twist.
Yes.
Yes.
Then this movie would have been worth it. Like if that would have randomly happened at this point, like I'd be like, holy fuck, she's a zombie or she's some sort of sea creature now. Like
I dig it. I dig it. We're gonna get her on the horn. We gotta make this happen.
SMG.
But Ty is still trying to get into those pants, into Carla's panties, and he's trying to get her into the jacuzzi. Well, Carla wants to go into the jacuzzi.
Why is she jumping on the fucking bed
Yeah.
like a goddamn fucking toddler in that scene because I was like,
what the
bitch,
fuck are you doing?
sit down. What the fuck?
Yes.
It was so annoying to even watch on the fucking movie. I'm like, why are you doing this? I'm like, this is the most annoying thing ever. I wanted
you are not
I wanted
fine.
Brandy to die in this movie, like the horrible, horrible death. Like I didn't care for Brandy back in the 90s. Like I feel like she was everywhere. Like they tried to push her down your throat everywhere. Like they put like huge promotions behind her. I don't know why. And then she got her fucking show. They started putting her in movies and shit. And I was like, no.
Paul has
no.
some weird sort of anger towards
It's not. It's
Brandy and Moesha.
It's not.
Let it out.
It's not. It's not
Let
her.
it out, Paul.
It is not her.
Start singing the Moesha theme.
It is. I don't know the goddamn Moesha theme. And I
Moesha,
never
though.
really. I know
Moesha,
the. Randomly on TV the other day, there was the Moesha Brandy or the Moesha episode where Brandy came to meet Moesha at her own concert thing. And I was
they
like,
did a Hannah Montana Miley Cyrus thing.
I guess it was randomly on TV the other day. And I was like, why is this even on?
Guess I
It's
missed
the
that whole
goddamn
thing.
Fucking Moesha. No, it was marketing. It wasn't. It was MTV and the people that did marketing for them that were just trying to shove Brandy everywhere in the fucking 90s, and it got super annoying.
You know what was annoying to me that happened? It wasn't in the scene where she was jumping on the bed. It was immediately after that where they're in the jacuzzi. I was like, who the fuck put all those candles out there on the jacuzzi? Like,
Yeah.
I know there's so much stuff outside, like the lights that were in the bushes in the background. And all that. I'm like, you guys are expecting a storm, and you keep fucking telling everyone there's gonna be a storm coming. There's
But
a
I
storm
was
coming.
like, I don't
guys are
think
creating fire hazards.
hotel people would put a bunch of
I know.
candles out around
And
a
like, who was
pool.
gonna do it? Titus Telesco, Olga the maid.
I know.
Fuck
So
no.
I was like, to Titus and fucking Carla bring those candles out there? That is not their job. Like
You mean Tyrell?
Tyrell, not Titus. You're right, Tyrell. Like,
Yes.
why are they bringing? Because like, wax is gonna get in the pool. That's gotta fuck up the filtration system.
She is
Not
just
cool.
making him work for that vagina. All right?
She
She's
is.
like,
Yes.
But
I
then,
want candles. I
but then
want
Will
this.
rolls that third wheel right into the jacuzzi. Just
Well,
rolls it
after-
right along in there.
after Titus's visit.
Yes, you
Yeah.
can't try it until you buy it. He comes out of that with the joint in his mouth.
And
that
then he lights
joint
it.
is so wet.
I know, and he tries lighting it too. Like, yeah,
Like, that's not
oh,
gonna
it's
work.
all
Dum-dum.
good, baby.
Oh,
Titus out. Going back to my pool shack grow house.
well, but then Julie sees a dead guy in the closet, and again, we're not really sure if it's a real dead guy or if it's not a real dead guy because
No,
we did
it-
see that dead guy die.
No,
Yeah.
Derek was dead, and he was hung in there. And then as soon as she left, the fucking Ben or whatever his name
Cleaned
had to
that
clean up. He's
blood up
fucking
so
sweeping, like mopping up the blood and shit. And it's like, all right, we gotta get out of here.
I know.
Apparently, he knows all the secret passages through this fucking hotel.
He does.
Where you can just
That
get
he
in
does.
and out without having to fucking be seen by anyone. Because he did a lot of fucking dragging bodies around this fucking
Mm-hmm.
resort, around the island,
Yeah.
if we're being honest. Because Derek's body was in the closet, and then later he's in the storm shelter.
And
the
a-
maid's body was in the dryer, and then later in the storm shelter.
And a
Like,
lot of missing blood too. There's no
Yeah.
bloody drag marks. There's no like even when they go back to the closet, like the floor's not even wet. I'm like, that's wood floors. Like it would be soggy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you would be
Yeah.
able to see it if it had really happened. So I was like, did it not happen? I don't know. I'm
You had
confused.
to drain them somewhere. See, this This is what I want. I'm going to remake this movie as the island thriller kind of thing, where the murderer, like maybe the island's close enough they could swim somewhere, but the murderer kills all these people and then guts them in the oceans around there, so that it's just shark infested. So even if you
They'd
wanted
never
to
find the
swim,
bodies.
you couldn't get out. Like,
That's somebody's doing that. Somebody's murdering people that way. FBI, look into that.
I
It's
know.
not me.
No, don't
I live
look
in the
into me. Like,
landlocked.
no, all right, delete this part because they're gonna be like, this guy. We gotta look into this guy.
He's like, Paul's gonna get called into a room.
We don't
Like,
have producer Kim anymore, so they're gonna search my search history.
Yep,
and
they
it's like,
are.
no.
Oh, I made a note about Titus. I put Titus has a pretty decent grow operation, but that boy needs to clean his bong. Like
that he does.
it's black up top. You gotta clean that shit, man.
Where are we?
You know what was so sad about Jack Black being in this movie that he wasn't even credited?
He wasn't credited in this movie.
He wasn't
No.
technically not. He was uncredited. But here's the funny thing. Okay, it's Julie James. It is Ray Bronson, Carla Wilson, but then Mekhi Phifer is just Terrell. He doesn't
Tyrell.
have a last name, but
Yeah.
Jack Black is Titus Telesco. He
he's
has a last
uncredited?
name. He's uncredited. but he is a last name. But Terrell just has Terrell.
Oh man.
Yeah, because I noticed that when I went to go write down the names of the characters, and I'm like, wait, where's Jack Black? And then it showed his name. It said Titus, and it said uncredited.
I
Like,
love
really?
Jack Black in this movie, even though he is. I mean, we can all say it. He's slightly doing cultural appropriation, but he's so hilarious at it. When he sees the guy, when the guy comes into him, and he's there with his bong, and he sees the guy. His customer service white boy voice comes out, and he's like, "Can I help you?" And then,
Yes, sir.
seriously, don't do that.
That was my favorite line.
That's like his last words of Titus Telesco. Seriously, don't do that.
Seriously, don't do that.
I was glad to see him die. I don't like Jack Black, so I was glad to see him die.
Oh, you're a horrible person.
How can you not love Jack
I've never
Black?
liked Jack Black. He's
Not
a corny
even
and
in
didn't carry
Tropic
me.
Thunder. Come on.
Yeah, gotta.
A little, but still, though, it's Jack Black.
All right. Well. All right, producer Saul. Where's Kim?
I love how Ray goes to illegally buy a loaded gun, but he doesn't want extra bullets.
Okay.
He just has
Okay.
the guy load 6 rounds and then goes on his way.
I have a theory on the gun. On the very end, when they did the shooting, I was expecting what's her face, Julie, to say you had the safety on.
I don't think. Yeah. Okay. We'll get to that end part because there's some other things about that. But I want to go back to the pawn shop real quick here. But I feel movies give pawn shop owners or pawn shop guys like a bad rep. Because every movie, it's like, oh, I need a gun, or it's raining outside in the middle of
It's
the night.
always a
like,
seedy dude that
it's
does
a
seedy
dude.
things.
And
Yeah.
that the guy, I forget his name, but he's been
He's
in a million
professional
things.
seedy
yeah,
dude.
He's always that guy,
Yes.
and he's great in it. I think he's in Sons of Anarchy. Like he's been in a
was in
million
Sons of
things,
Anarchy.
right? Yeah, so I mean,
He
he's
was
always
in The
that
Dark
guy.
Knight
Batman.
Rises.
Yeah,
wasn't
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
Batman.
He's
He was in
always
Fast and
that guy.
Furious.
He's always a sleazy guy like that, and he's great at it, and it works for him. And obviously, he's made a great living at it. But you're giving pawn shop owners a bad name. I mean, I really don't think that they would do that, especially with as confusing as Ray looked throughout the whole thing. He's like, "You dumbass! That goddamn gun alone is worth more than that ring.
I know. He's
Yeah.
just like,
Load it."
Load it. Just the 6 bullets, though. That's all. I don't need any more.
Okay, so he took a bus to Miami. And then I'm supposed to believe he took that boat from Miami to the Bahamas.
Yeah,
Is that
I
what
found that
happened?
hard to believe too.
So,
Yeah, I don't know.
so the Ray or not Ray? So Terrell and all of them rode that boat from the Bahamas too, because it's the same guy.
I would assume.
Yeah.
Something mustn't make sense. I don't know how far that is, but I think it would take a
Well,
while
you
to
would
fucking
think
get
the
there.
Bahamas would have like a little dinky airport.
I'm sure they
Oh,
do.
and
Yeah.
Here's the other thing that cracked me up too is when he took that boat, how he knew he was riding into a storm and he's trying to get help over the radio.
Yeah. When he's
Like,
dude,
calling
you-
Mayday. Yeah.
I kind of took that as he was trying to get help because he knew something was happening.
Well, not
But
just
I'm like,
that, though, but,
that's kind of a big gamble though too. Like you're going there, you don't know, and like you tried calling or whatever, but anyone like from the other island would be like, "There's a storm, the phones are out." Like,
But the other thing that cracked me up though too is the boat owner. I'm like, okay, did he just kidnap the boat owner? I'm like, where'd the boat owner go? He just stole his boat.
yeah,
You
he
would
just
think if
stole
that's
his
what-
boat.
It's like you think if that would happen, the boat owner would be like, some crazy kid just stole my boat, and he's going here.
well, maybe that's why the helicopter was there at the end of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like this kid stole my boat at gunpoint.
Something's going on over at the island. We should get
I
over
don't
there
know,
and
yeah.
check.
We'll go tomorrow. It's storm out. We'll take the helicopter in the morning. Fuck it.
But our I don't even know what to call them. We'll just say Julie, Carla, and Tyrell, and Will all slept in the bed together like
Yeah.
children. And they wake up, and
should-
Ty is so sexually frustrated. He's just angry.
Yes, he
But
gets mad.
Carla's like, "No, Julie, let's go exercise this PTSD out of you." But she settles
my
for
goodness.
tanning instead.
I love how the first thing that she says after they bust her out of the tanning bed was like, "I told you I wasn't fucking crazy."
Oh, I know, and I have issues with the whole thing. So first of all, Julie was going to go work out in her bathing suit. No girl with big boobs does that. No girl that's like, I'm going to go sweat or do anything with movement. No girl is going to wear a bathing suit.
But we're talking about Julie. We're not talking about big boobs.
We're talking about a girl who's had big boobs her whole life.
Julie has not had big boobs her whole life.
You don't know that.
I saw the movie. I know that.
But so she's in the tanning bed, right? And the fisherman guy comes in and traps her in this. Instead of just opening the bed and knifing Julie,
And stabbing her, yeah.
he tries to trap her and give her an ultimate sunburn because obviously he knows her friends are going to come get her because
I
he
know.
doesn't go to kill the other ones.
And it's not like that thing turns the heat up. It just makes it stay on for longer.
Yeah.
And if you look at the other side, like she could have slid out the top.
Yeah.
Like
And
there was nothing
Well,
there
here's-
to keep from sliding out the top.
The thing that I love is how they were worried about getting her, and I'm like, unfucking plug the thing so you don't have to worry about those lights
I
beaming down
know.
on her.
Just turn it off. Like there's
Yeah.
there's a button that just turns it off. Somewhere,
Oh,
just
goodness.
find it. And I love she pops out. She's like, "See, I'm not crazy." I'm like, "I don't know. You could have gotten there and put a fucking zip tie on that thing from inside of there. You're not fooling
No, but the
anybody,
fun-
Julie."
The funnier thing is how, what is it, Tyrell was bashing into the thing, and I'm like, dude, you're going to hurt her even more. It's a zip
know.
tie.
He's
You
gonna-
can find something.
He's gonna
you
break
can
the
find something
fucking
to
glass,
do.
and she's just gonna bleed to death. It's like, oh
Yeah,
shit! Whoops.
like you're going to cut her by trying to break off the zip tie, which all you need is something sharp to get that out, and you're going to bash all the glass on her and end up killing her that way.
Honestly, if I was in this situation, I would think Julie was doing everything and be like, "I need to get away from you. You have zip tied yourself into this little bed."
It turns into that Jeepers Creepers 2 thing where it's like, well, you're the one that they want. So what?
Right?
Just go. I just stay
It's
away
these
from me.
cans. Get away from these cans.
Oh, my goodness.
But then now it's a fucking emergency. So they're like, Jeffrey Combs has to let us use the radio now. And they
they
go,
fucking did.
Brooks.
yeah, but then they go, and it's very much like The Shining radio is broken to me. That's
Yeah.
what I got from it.
And what did they do to the poor dog?
I don't think
They
ever
don't
showed.
show the dog, do
Yeah.
they?
I don't know what happened
No.
to it. Yeah, because you see him in the beginning when he like scares the shit out of him, and I'm like, "Where's the dog?" Like that's one thing I was worried about. After they came out, I was like, "They better not have killed that poor dog." Like, where'd he go?
Unless he's in that scene somewhere. Like,
Yeah, I
he
didn't
also
notice.
killed him, or how?
Yeah,
who
because
knows?
Jeffrey Combs is just spread all over that office, and I still know, like, duh, bitch, you're the dude, like, you're the guy who's been trying to kill me. Of course, you still know. I thought I killed you twice.
Now, is this where she finally tells him everything that happened? Like, no, here's what happened and everything. We're like, wait a minute,
No,
what?
she tells them later. Still.
Okay.
Is it still
Okay.
later? I thought it was after this they ran out to the
Well,
dock.
after this, they ran out, and then when they get to the dock, that's when she tells them everything.
Yeah, after they see everything, and she's like, "It's here." And then I love how could you not tell me you tried to kill a guy twice?
You're my best friend.
I'm your
See,
best
that
friend.
way, right there, they should have been like, like you said, they should have been like, fuck this. He wants you.
She's
We're
over
out.
here.
Julie's over
Like,
here.
we will help him. Like, he just wants to kill you. I got nothing to do with this. Like, she's over here.
I know. If Tyrell or Carla would have said that, I think Will at that point would like, really? Dad? Dad, let them go. We're good.
We're good. Also, the
they're gonna help us
angrier and more manic Julie gets, the more her arms flare out to the side. Like she's like,
Oh, and she.
the what are
totally
you
does the
waiting
whole-
for? Hands.
Yeah,
Like,
again,
yeah.
I'm like, are you?
Yep, all the time, just flailing those hands. Maybe that was a
That was
directorial choice.
Yeah, everyone.
Just hands out to the side.
Everyone, flail your hands when it gets. It's your emotion meter.
It's like, remember our money shot from the first movie? We're gonna do that again.
Oh, I also wrote a note. Thank goodness there was this giant globe right here in the lobby, or they would have never known they were set up this whole time.
Yeah.
Because they didn't
Well,
think
all-
about looking it up until they got to the fucking resort.
The thing that I found so dumb about that scene is that the globe all of a sudden is spinning, and where they decide to stop it is exactly on Brazil, and they figured it out right then and there. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Brasilia.
Brasilia.
You stupid.
They're all
And
so
then that's
stupid.
when Will starts saying out the whole spiel about who he actually is. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Oh, yes. We get Ben's whole very Shining-esque backstory with his
Yes.
sister and mother and father all living at the damn resort, a remote resort. And that's again when they get to the grave and Julie James is written over the top of the grave, which, like I said earlier, was very Halloween / Friday the 13th.
I thought it was dumb when she was like, "What's the date?" I'm like, "Think about it, bitch.
I know.
You know what fucking date it
Right.
is."
Like, shut up. And then they finally
Sloppy
decide
writing.
to find weapons. Then they go to the kitchen. Not at any point until this point, until Julie sees a grave with her fucking name on it, is she like, hey, maybe I need some weapons.
I think they tried to set it up that they were like, because I think Brandy had a whole fucking line where it was like, "There's no boats, there's no way off the island, there's nothing we can do," and she's like, "We got to fight this guy or whatever."
Yeah.
And then yes, they decide to go find some weapons somewhere.
in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And
They
that's
look
when
at
they
you and they
find
find-
Nancy in the fridge. Girl
Yeah,
should have
find her
just
the-
stayed hidden the whole time. Like, Nancy was doing better on her own.
Yeah.
He's like, find your own hiding space, damn it.
Oh.
I don't know. That wasn't really a good hiding space though, because somebody would have got hungry eventually. And it's not like she was fucking quiet, or whether it was her or the rat in the fucking cooler or whatever.
Yeah, and you want to talk about terrible hiding spots? They missed a whole man in the range hood of the fucking stove.
I know.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
is this like the people under the stairs house where you just secret passages in the
Secret
range
passage.
hood and everywhere?
And
like-
no, but like in People Under the Stairs, she was a small girl. Like
Yeah.
she was like a pubescent child, or no, she was like puberty. Okay, so she was like an early teen or whatever, but she was still a small child,
she
not
was
a
like
full ass
20-something years
man,
old.
not a full ass
Yeah.
man in a slicker
Okay. Okay.
with one fucking hand.
Not to mention this, all right, because we've talked about most of this whole movie. But do you know how fucking loud that slicker would have been with just a little
Yeah.
bit of wet? It would have sounded like you're rubbing two latex balloons together
Yep.
the whole fucking time.
You would have been
so like this
swishing
guy
around
would have
with that.
not been able to hide anywhere whatsoever. He'd be walking like 100 feet, like. Oh look, there
Like
he
he's
is.
coming. Like he's
That's why
coming.
Esther's like, I see him all the time. You guys are stupid.
He's right there.
Do you see how loud he is?
Just be quiet for a minute. You'll hear him.
Like, shut up, stop screaming, and just
Look,
listen.
there he goes, moving another body. Really likes to play with the bodies.
But then poor Ty did not see the whole ass man in the range hood,
No.
and he gets it right in the neck.
Yes, he does.
But then the girls, as smart as they are, run
Not
upstairs.
Not only did he not get to eat anything, and he didn't get sex, he didn't get any food. Like
Nope.
he got nothing,
He got to eat nothing.
and didn't get the last name. Nothing.
No, poor Tyrell. And then they run upstairs, and not even just upstairs. They go to the fucking attic. I'm like, you guys missed the door. Go outside. You don't know where you're going.
Yes.
Well, they were
Ready.
following. They were following Nancy, and I feel like Nancy had a clue. Like she had
Where to go.
somewhat of a clue. Like if we go this way, we can get out over here, kind of thing. But I love that like, immediately she's like, "Stay on the beams." I'm like, "Oh great, they're gonna do a thing where someone falls through." Oh look, yep.
And Carla can't pick her leg up
Yes,
for some
it's
reason.
Carla. Kill that bitch.
Carla has no luck. She survives, but they make her pay for it, man. They put her through things. I mean, Julie doesn't get her ass kicked as much as Carla does. They beat the shit out of Carla.
I know
in this
nothing
movie.
happens to Julie, in
No,
there, except at
not
the
at
end
all.
where I think she gets pushed a couple times, and then he's like holding her at the end, like threatening to kill her or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, Carla falls through that
Yeah.
glass. Then she
yeah.
gets. They jump out into the fucking green. Why does this place need a greenhouse?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, so here's my thing that I pointed out that I noticed when we were watching the movie. When she gets down to the greenhouse and then she's trying to get that door open when they got the keys or whatever, when Julie and Nancy or whatever, and she finally gets the axe, hits the window, and Carla squeezes through. The fisherman guy takes his hook and hits her in the foot, and it just like bounces off her fucking shoe. And I'm like, this went through skulls and bones
Necks.
and necks and just all throughout, but it can't go through her fucking shoe at this point.
shoe.
Like, I'm like, man, that was worse to me than like doing the whole I swing and miss thing, because it just last second like she pulled her foot. I'm like, that would have been more believable than like it bounced off her fucking shoe. Like, that was a terrible shot.
You know what got me about that scene was the love tap Jennifer Love Hewitt gives to that lock she's trying to break.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because the axe was going to break the lock somehow. Because
Yeah.
that makes fucking sense.
And so after Carla gets through the window too, like he swings his arm right with the hook through through the window opening, and
Yeah.
Julie just stands there looking at him. I'm just like, bitch, swing the axe, take his fucking arm.
Seriously.
Yeah. See, he got one. He won't be able to do anything.
You know, like, he's not going to fit through there. He's not going to be able to bust through the door either. And you have a fucking axe.
And
What happens
At
to the
least-
fucking axe later?
Will takes it because that's when they come upon Will, and he looks like he's bleeding after he took out Estes or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're
Where he's
they're
like-
like, don't worry, he's gone. Like, bitch, I should have killed him. Or I'm supposed to have killed this fucker twice. He ain't gone, okay? He ain't just throwing my axe around.
Okay,
Oh,
and that is the other thing too, because that's Will has a line where he goes, well, they're asking him, like, it's after the storm shelter, and they're asking him, is it safe back, going back to the hotel or whatever? And he says, I saw the slicker guy. He hadn't, I saw the slicker guy go over there, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. He hadn't seen him at all, and nobody noticed that.
Nope, nobody was
'Cause
like,
at that point-
you saw the Fisher guy?
Yeah,
Like, how
nobody,
do you know?
nobody, he hadn't seen the guy, so he would have not known what he looks like, and nobody noticed. Fucking morons.
Oh, you want to talk about fucking morons? Nancy's death infuriates
Oh my
me.
god.
Oh yeah.
I was like, this is the dumbest fucking death ever.
I'm like, roll over an inch, bitch. Like,
Seriously. He's a skinny old man. He can't weigh that much.
you just have to move. Like, because what did he get stabbed with? What was it, like a spear or something?
Yeah, it was some sort of like
Yeah.
Some
spear
sort of
staff.
spear. Estes walks in with some sort of spear stab wound. Something long and sharp is through him, right? And he falls on top of poor Nancy. And instead of Nancy just moving away from the pokey thing, she lays there and cries until Slicker Man walks up and just stabs her through it. Like, I'm like, no, this is the dumbest death. Like, she just had to move an inch.
Ugh, yeah.
And I love how Slickerman had to call in his son to take down 120-pound girl, man. Like, Julie's nothing.
No.
Like, you spent how much money making a reservation at this resort, sending your son to school just to get back at this one girl you could have killed 4 times.
Well, if you're going to spend all this much money, then you need to make it special, okay?
I guess I
you're
just-
not blowing all this money just to slice her the first chance you get. I mean, if that's what you're doing, you knew where the fuck she lived. Like, Will could have been like, "Hey, I'm going to come over." Then stab, bitch,
Like,
right?
Ben
Done,
Willis.
right?
Ben Willis, I'm just saying this. He's a fucking drama queen, man.
Well,
He's just got this. He's like, nope. I'm playing the long game, and I'm really gonna stick it to Julie
He,
psychologically.
he read too many books. All right,
He
He's
did.
just like, he was what's the Count of Monte Cristo. He was really into that. He's like, elaborate schemes that'll work. I thought it was funny that when Will is dragging Julie out to the graveyard and everything, and she gives that one little slice to his arm, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
I know.
If you're hiding a knife, you don't give someone a quick little slice.
No.
Like, you
Go
stab,
for the
stab,
body.
stab, bitch. Like, you stab and twist. Stab and twist. I will
Stab
always
and
remember
twist.
that from Face Off. Because he tells the kid, stab it and then twist it, and it makes the injury more. So I shouldn't be saying this stuff, so never mind.
Well, that brings me to my next thing. So of course, Ray shows up. Oh, here,
Just in the nick of
heroic
time.
Ray with his illegal gun.
He knows exactly where to go, where to find them.
Even to the graveyard.
Exactly.
He's never been on this island once,
He's
but he
like-
knows how to get to the graveyard.
This looks like a good place. For once, his confusion led him the right way.
But of course, the safety's on. He made
See,
it
that's my
all the
theory.
way to the Bahamas and everything.
No. Okay, first of all, the safety was not on.
No?
I don't believe there was a safety on that gun. And I'm pretty sure when he pulled it that you could see the hammer cock. Or you heard it anyway, Ernie.
Mm-hmm.
But here is the other thing. I count that as an empty chamber, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then she shoots 8 fucking shots. I counted them when we watched it because I'm like, okay, it's a 6-shooter, right?
Yeah.
That revolver
Yeah.
has 6 chambers in it. 1 was empty. There's 5 left. Magically, there's 3 extra.
Yep.
Horrible.
And again, she only shoots him in the fucking chest.
Like, go for the fucking head.
And it's like boom, 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 just fucking die. And like in the head. And then even after she's thought she's killed this man twice and's not killed him, they don't check.
They just leave.
They fucking walk
leave.
away from this dude's body. When the camera pulls away from this dude, it's clear he's still breathing. I can't even with these fuckers. Like, I was like, come on. You deserve to die. Epilogue shows that they have a house now. But of course, Ben's not dead.
He's gonna
Okay.
find your ass.
I thought it was funny when Will and Ben, or no, when Will and Ray were fighting, and Will gets the upper hand or whatever, and then it gets to the point to where Ben was like, "Pick him up and like, stand him up," whatever, and I was like, "No, again, they're gonna kill you. Just no, put all your weight down the floor, become that immovable.
Be a toddler, yeah.
You were the
Fuck
immovable toddler. Like, no, you're gonna kill me. You're gonna work
they're
for
gonna-
it.
Right?
If they're gonna kill you, don't make it easier for them. Like, nope.
And I was like, why? Why does he need to stand him up? And really, it just looks like Ray's magical plan, and it works. He just lifts his arm up and falls
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, he's like, slip right out of this with my broken arm that's not really broken.
I'm like, what the fuck was the plan? Where was the guy going to hit Ray?
How
that
bad
he
do you
thought
feel?
his
How bad do you feel
son
about
was gonna
yourself?
live?
How bad do you feel about yourself if you were Ben and Will and Dum Dum Ray outsmarted both of you
By
Like,
moving.
Yeah.
It is like yoink.
He just moves ever so slightly and gets away.
Man, I can't believe you guys fell for that.
Like,
Oh,
you dum-dums.
so many bad choices.
And then he has that confused look. He's like, I can't believe that worked.
Worked.
Oh, my goodness.
So I've never seen any past this one, so I don't know how or when or what happens to make anyone come back.
Is there
I know
something that comes back? I didn't know there were
is
more.
one.
there's
There is
another one
more.
after this, and I don't think any of them are in it. So I
No,
don't
they're
know,
not.
but this has one of those stupid classic like. I feel like it's one of those endings that are like, okay, we have this ending, but if we did a third one, it would be like, nah, just kidding. That ending wasn't really part of the
That was
movie.
just a dream or some
Yeah,
shit.
something
Yeah.
stupid like that.
Yeah, it had all the markings of that, but no, this one thankfully killed the franchise.
No, there's still more.
At least in my view, which was probably why there was only one more, because that one effectively apparently killed it. But yeah,
And I love the fact that they're like, okay, he's dead now, and magically the relationship is better. Magically,
PTSD is gone.
the PTSD is gone. They're
committed
able to
murder
get they got married. They're able to afford a house. And, Ray didn't have to face any charges for, leaving the hospital and, holding a guy at gunpoint and all that other shit and stealing a boat. Like, everything's fine because we killed the guy at the end. See?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Don't forget
Bullshit.
they got all these felonies they committed that probably would warrant some jail time.
Life is great, and Ray could just go on living being confused at his electric toothbrush.
Oh, he marvels at that toothbrush. He really digs that toothbrush. But you know where Ben hides at the very end to come back and exact his revenge? The most cliche spot imaginable. The under the
What
bed.
grown ass person fits under a bed?
Nobody.
Like, what do you have to be sleeping? Like, you have to have like 3 feet of clearance under your fucking bed for a grown ass man to fit under your bed. And not to mention, was it raining outside or not? I don't remember. I don't think it was. I think
I don't
it was
remember
really windy.
either, but he had muddy
I don't
boot
remember.
tracks
But I'm like,
into
how
the
did
house.
Okay, she's like, oh look, he has that line where he's like, you checking all the locks again? Yeah, you know me too well. I'm like, but you didn't check that fucking open window in the other room?
Or
notice all this
muddy
fucking
footprint?
mud on the floor
Yeah.
leading to under your bed where his feet are still sticking out because no grown man fits under a fucking bed?
And that dude's got to be like, what, 45? His knees aren't going to allow him to get under a fucking bed.
Yeah, and he's climbing up the stair or climbing up the second story outside.
No,
Right?
shenanigans, bullshit.
Yes, shenanigans.
With one arm. With one arm. Where the fuck's he climbing upstairs with one arm? Bullshit.
Well, maybe he has the arm. He just doesn't have the hand, so he can elbow it.
How do you elbow up something? Huh?
You need
I
to
mean,
give
at
a
least
grip
if
on
he
something.
has the hook, then he can, I guess, hook the side of the house.
Oh, there you
Like,
go. Just hook it up. Yeah.
Yes, he's got his grappling hook attachment. That's what he used.
Oh, no.
Ay.
He was wearing
And that
a
was it.
bulletproof vest.
And that was it.
They should have buried. Okay, I want a movie where they finally kill the guy. Like fine. At the end of this fucking like Halloween, I'm gonna pick that right now. At the end of fucking Halloween, if they ever just decide they're killing Michael Myers, and that's the end of this, group of movies, the series that John Carpenter started,
Like-
whatever you want to say it,
Like Laurie goes crazy
like
and
dismembers
Yes,
Michael,
yes.
buries him.
Like in
just-
different
and sits,
spots, like each hand
like
here,
I want there to
leg
be like
over
okay,
there, yeah.
like I want it to be like wow, there's no way that anyone could ever come back from that. Like no matter
full blood Mandy
who you
style, like
are,
she's covered
like,
in blood in a
yes,
car.
like,
Yes,
fucking-
that's what I want. I need that.
whether it's Lori or the daughter and the granddaughter, whoever it ends up being,
all
like, I just
three of
want-
them.
I
It's
just
just
want
very
to
cathartic for
I just
them.
want something where it's like okay, like this is the most gruesome.
Who do we
villain death
call
ever.
about this?
Like,
Danny
there's no
McBride?
way you're coming back from that.
Okay,
like
so we
in
gotta
a meat grinder,
in a
like
meat
something
grinder.
huge,
All right, but
like-
before the FBI actively starts looking at us, we should finally do final thoughts.
you don't
about
think
this
they you don't
movie.
think they are already?
I said actively. They probably keep an eye here and there, but actively start following us.
Yes.
My final thoughts in this movie is it's stupid, mindless fun. Fast forward it to the last 30 minutes and you're good.
Yeah.
It's
That's your
stupid.
final thought? I thought you were
Yeah.
done with it. Okay.
No.
It's stupid.
That's
Just watch
stupid.
it.
Watch
Okay,
it.
if you are okay, to me, this movie, and I've never watched I don't know. I know there's one more. I don't know if there's only one more because it's called I Will Always Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
So I don't, and I think it was like a 10-year difference. I think it was like 2006 or some shit if I'm remembering this correctly. But I've never seen that. I have no clue. I watched this one because I remember watching the first one. Don't remember if I watched the first one in theaters or not. I don't think I did. I don't think I watched either of these in theaters. I think I just watched them when they came out in cable or whatever. So to me, this is a good kind of weekend background binge movie to watch. Throw on the first one, then throw on this one. It's a good binge to watch when you don't really feel like watching something, but you want to have something on that you can mildly pay attention to. This is what this movie's for. It's not good for anything else, in my opinion. It's decent fun. There's not too much gore. I mean, there's some good kills, but everything in this whole the plot hinges on so many people making the worst decisions they could possibly make at the best opportune time for the villains to have them make these stupid decisions.
If you want to see Jennifer Love Hewitt crying hysterically for a good 30 minutes, watch this movie.
If you want to see Jennifer Love Hewitt in one of two tank tops throughout the whole movie, because it's literally she's in a gray tank top and then a white tank top, and then the white tank top comes back later, and at the end of the movie she ends up in the white tank top again. It's like her going out tank top and her casual tank top. And then she spends a good portion of the movie in this white shirt that only has one button buttoned because this movie was all about Dum Dum Dre and Julie's boobs. And they literally, like I said, this movie came out 13 months after the original, so they crapped this fucker out as soon as they could. It was literally like, okay, the movie did great last weekend. We got to start doing the sequel. Like, wait, what? Get everybody back in. I don't care what it's about.
So, what you got for final thoughts?
This movie's dumb. If you think about it too much, it's going to hurt your brain because there's way too many things in there that would be easily in this movie within like the first 5 or 10 minutes.
And,
That's why Freddie Prinze Jr. was so
and
confused.
you'll look like him the whole time. Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But
it
I agree
hurts.
with Paul. It's one of those things where if you want a good little 2-movie thing to watch on the weekend to throw on and just not really pay attention to and kind of zone out to have something on, this is your franchise. There's really not much of it. It's the epitome of what the 90s were. Because like AJ said earlier, this was like the MTV thing. I know we talk about it when we do The Faculty, but this is, again, another one of those 90s dumb horror movies that it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get your hopes up too much. It's dumb. It's stupid. If you watch it, just know that it's dumb and it's stupid.
According to the IMDb trivia, Freddie Prinze Jr. heard how badly received this sequel was, and he's never watched it. So I don't know how true that is till this day, but according to that trivia,
Maybe he also was like, yeah, there was a whole scene I forgot how to have hands. So
like, what was I doing?
that is all we have for this shitty 90s sequel. was
shitty September 90s.
that
sequel.
was I still know what you did last summer. It was not great. But we will be back next week with a selection we haven't
decided?
chosen yet. Nope.
Okay.
So if you guys have any suggestions, comments, questions, concerns, you can email us at podcast@scarynerd.com. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/scarynerd. You can find more horror entertainment news at scarynerd.com. And we'll be back next week with another 90s shitty sequel.
Shit sequel.
Shit sequel. There you go. We'll get
There
that
you go.
down.
It's a shitquel.
It'll come off my tongue a little bit
Shitquel.
cleaner.
The
than
90s shitquel September.
I like that.
Hello there in podcast land.
That's it for this week, guys. Anything else?
What's your favorite radio
No.
station, Julie?
Yeah.
She wouldn't know how to
What's your
answer.
favorite
She
station?
didn't answer. Julie.
She'd be like, I don't
No, it was her friend.
know.
It was
I
her
don't
friend
know.
that did it.
See, this is okay. If Will would have just said that shit in front of Ray, would have been like, I don't know what's going on. Give me the gun, Ray. Why?
They're stupid. They're
Okay.
stupid.
What do I do with my hands?
Ray, you can't do jazz hands while
How
you're
do I
holding a
have
gun.
hands? Anyway, that's it for this week. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong, and I learned how to get along, but now you're back from outer space.
I can't
Having to
stop
keep
laughing.
continuing to do that
No, guys, I
with a lot
can't.
of.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can't even get over him running away from the car, and I can't stop laughing enough to even tell you guys my nose. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me compose myself because I can't.
I think we broke you.
You did. You did. Oh my goodness. I'm crying over here. It's such a stupid. Okay, so the big reveal
Wait,
comes.
hold on.